The introductory programs, Army 101 started, I believe, last year. That's an online program through ECTC where folks that want to get into or want to get hired for a civilian job go in and take this 1-hour credit course and learn more about what the Army is. No guarantee of a job. It just is a complement to your resume. And then I believe it's today or tomorrow there'll be a press release about Army HR 102, which is the human resource component, the next component of 3. Are we doing 3 of these or 5 now? 3. Next will be IT, which will help people understand the human resource function within the Army, because it is different and it has a different mix of skills for folks. But these are online for people to take a 5-week course. It's $125 and it is a credit hour. That's now available or will be in the next couple of days. Job fairs, I don't know how many we've been to or participated in, the last one being actually in Louisville with the Urban League, something like 2,000 or 3,000 people during the course of the day learning about the federal civilian job openings. College recruitment in the last year, we've been to 17 colleges and universities throughout Kentucky and southern Indiana to introduce what's happening at Fort Knox to college students and get them interested in and learn more about what the opportunities may be for them for a career. And then in the existing workforce, the Lincoln Trail Area Development District, and I saw Sherry somewhere, who's done a fantastic job helping what will be dislocated workforce from the Armor Center that are not going to Fort Benning, help them get back into the workforce, maybe even apply for and qualify for some of the HRC jobs. And Lincoln Trail Career Centers, that's noted there, has had the people in those 8 counties and in those career centers have been specifically trained about the Army and about this whole initiative and actually about the hiring process as well. Next slide. As I think most of you know, and I know I can't see now, but I did see coming in, a number of folks that have participated in the community tours that we have had here. There have been 13 now, 11 that we actually hosted and organized, if you will, and 2 that we participated with a national firm for contractor, actually, that is trying to convince their folks to move from D.C. and other places to the heartland. It's really been a fantastic outpouring of community support. We can't thank you enough. I think that I don't remember the last number, but it's 400 or 500 people that have come as a result of these tours to the community, continue to come back to the community to learn why they should move to the heartland. And some of it's, a pretty easy sell for some of these folks. Next slide, please. Infrastructure needs. 2 years ago, it's 2 years ago now, we received $100 million from the state of Kentucky, as you can see, for water, sewer, education initiatives, and also for roads. We have gone back to the governor and the legislature for, next slide please, an additional $151 million. The water and wastewater projects that I'm going to show you in a minute are new projects. The road projects are a continuation of 4 major projects that are underway in planning, design, and right-of-way acquisition, and what we have asked for now is $112.4 million for construction. Next slide, please. I won't read those to you. Water infrastructure needs, I think there are 7. As you can see, a pretty broad spectrum of where they are. Fort Knox, Brandenburg, 2 projects with the Louisville Water Company. So it's a pretty broad-based approach. This planning and also the road prioritization, I should mention, although we have gone to Frankfurt to ask for help, have actually been developed, and those priorities are developed here locally through the Lincoln Trail Area Development District Water Management Board Committee and the Metropolitan Planning Organization. That question has come up a couple of times as to really how would Frankfort know what it is that we need. I assure you that we've actually gone to Frankfort and said this is what we need based on the studies that have been done here and the priorities that are here. Of course, also in conjunction with what's occurring on the installation. Next slide, please. And the wastewater project, same thing, pretty broad-based. I think even, yes, one in Bullitt County, Lebanon Junction. Of course, with this whole, I'm not a water and sewer guy, so I don't know any details, but I do know about loop systems and that sort of thing, or at least the concept, and you can probably appreciate that too. That's a lot of what is being done here, so that we're tied in with Louisville Water Company up and down 65, up and down 31W, that the sewer systems and the sewage treatment plants are tied in together and have the capacity and the capability of helping with this growth, including Fort Knox, which is now being managed by one of the local water districts. Next, please. These are the road projects I mentioned. You all are probably familiar with them, from familiar to very familiar. Extension of 313 to US 60 in Meade County, the E-Town to Radcliffe, or Radcliffe to Elizabethtown connector, also the Bullion Boulevard connector, or Veterans Parkway connector, and then improvements on North Wilson Road. Next slide, please. Number one, the 313 extension. There are the timelines for construction. Let me back up a step and say, as one of the previous slides said, planning, design, right-of-way, those initiatives are underway, and that's what our first $50 million was for from the state of Kentucky. These are timelines, and I have to say, best case scenario for the construction start and completion date. I say that for a number of reasons, and I did see former Secretary Prather, I think, here, and he could confirm this. There are a number of things that can occur that can delay a project like right-of-way acquisition, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, the biggest challenge is the legislature going to pass the budget so that these dollars get in there? And as of this morning, from what I understand, they still haven't come to that agreement. I can tell you this, that the governor approved these projects, both water, wastewater, and construction projects. He put them in his budget. The House put it in their budget. The Senate has put it in their budget. And if the budget passes in some form or fashion, we're fairly certain, I'm trying to qualify all this, to say that these dollars will be secure. There has been no real objection to or discussion, to our knowledge, in the legislature about the lack of merit of these projects. It's understood. It's been unanimously supported by our legislative delegation in the area. But the biggest challenge right now is to see that the budget gets passed. And if that happens in the next couple of days or by April 15th, we should be in good stead.